friends and vinyl community. It's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records. It is Monday. It means it's time for another installment of Vinyl Editions. This week, not a whole lot to show, which is good, because my whole goal is to stop buying a ton and only buy what I really want, what I need, what I desire. So let's start there. First things first, I did go and visit my friends at Ramble On Records and picked up a couple records there. They are a local shop in Shakopee, Minnesota, which is approximately about a 10-minute drive from my house. Not very bad. And I like to visit them once a month or so just to kind of shoot the shit with the owner and just look and see what they have there. Been buying a lot of newer stuff from them recently, but I did find a couple used records now that I wanted. The first one being the B-52's Whammy. This is one I am not actually familiar with at all, but I have almost everything else the B-52's put out on vinyl, so I decided I would just pick this up. It was a decent price, so I grabbed this. Not sure a whole lot about this album, so I'm looking forward to giving it a spin and seeing what it's all about. And the other one I picked up while I was there is this one here. This is the Best of Elvis Costello and the Attractions. This gets a lot of praise, and rightly so. It's a really good mix of his stuff, his earlier stuff, and really enjoyed listening to this. I thought it was really well done. This isn't the greatest copy in the world, but it does sound, it sounds good, but there is a lot of, surface marks and stuff that cause a little noise in quieter parts. But overall, an enjoyable listen, and I really enjoyed, picking this up. Saw it a couple times in the past and just have passed on it because I have most of the early Elvis Costello albums already. But thought, why not? This is a nice thing to put on when you just want to get the hits of Elvis Costello. So picked that up and very excited about it. So very nice. Otherwise, this came in the mail. This is what I would consider a grail for me, but it's one of those grails that isn't expensive and really isn't too hard to find. My problem is I've missed out on this like 3 times already. It seems like every time I find a copy on Discogs or somewhere else, it gets swiped out from underneath me at the last second. So I finally found one of these and decided to just go and get it. I'm talking about this one, the Judd's Greatest Hits. This album I have had on CD for many, many years, and we listened to this, my wife and I, a lot in our college days on trips back and forth from our houses to college and everything else. Every time we'd take a road trip, we listened to a lot of this album, and I've been wanting this forever. And like I said, I've purchased it like 3 times now on Discogs, and every time they either cannot find the album because it's a store who has thousands of albums and they obviously must have sold it out from underneath them, or again, someone comes in and buys it right before I get out of my cart. And so I've missed this numerous times. It's not a hard album to find, I would say, but somehow it just keeps eluding me. So I finally have it in my collection. It's a beautiful sounding copy. It is in great shape, and so super excited to finally get that in there. Last but not least, my son had a basketball tournament this week, and we had 2 hours to kill. And so I just decided that we'd drive around, look at some old stuff, some memory stuff from my youth, and then why not hit Barnes & Noble just to kind of kill time and see what they had. While there, I just decided I'm finally going to pick this up. It's something that I've been thinking about getting for a long time. I really, really like the song selection on this compilation album, and so I finally just did it. I'm talking about Kiss World, the Best of Kiss. I have almost all of Kiss's albums on vinyl already, so do I really need a Kiss Best of? No, probably not. But what I really like about this Kiss is the track listing on this album. I mean, it is actually really, really well done, and I can't get it to focus on that. But, I mean, who would ever thought that Tears Are Falling, which is quite possibly my favorite Kiss song ever, would be on a Kiss compilation? It's just one of those songs that's not really like, you think of Kiss, you don't think of Tears Are Falling, right? I love that song, but it's on here. It has a really good mix of their whole career on this album, which I really, really like. I mean, you got stuff from the early albums, you got stuff from the middle albums, and you got stuff from the later albums. Psycho Circus is on here, Unholy is on here. They don't give you the obvious hits on here. They give you some of them, but they also mix in some really cool, good songs from albums you don't hear of. Shandy is on here from Unmasked. that's something you wouldn't think would be on here, right? So I really like this, the track listing on this album, and it sounds really good. I really enjoyed listening to it. So I finally picked this up, and I'm happy with it. I'm just glad to have it. It's a nice thing to put on when you just want to hear a bunch of great Kiss songs. This has a bunch of great Kiss songs, and you're not going to get stuck listening to all the same stuff that you would hear all the time. Just a really good album and a good compilation of Kiss stuff. So glad I picked that up. That is it. That is all I really picked up this week. 4 albums. Good. I'm trying to get my buying habits in line here. Why? Because, well, I'm running out of space, guys. I'm running out of space, and I had a long time been collecting just to collect, and I think that approach has not been the best for me. I know a lot of people do it, and I'm not a collector. I was just buying just to buy, and I think I need to start buying the things I really want, right? And that's what I'm focusing on for 2021. We'll see how I do. These vinyl editions segments will be cutting down here as we get to 100. We will start doing maybe a once a month type thing instead, just to kind of hopefully slow my appetite for buying albums down a little bit. We'll see. It's an addiction. We all know that. Everybody knows that. Can I get it under control? We'll find out. That's going to do it for this episode. I do want to say this is a big day for me. All 3 of my kids are finally back in the classroom today. This is the first time since November that they have all 3 been in class. My youngest has been in school since the beginning of February, actually since the end of January again. So he's been going to school 5 days a week. My 2 oldest kids are in middle school. They will be going to school twice a week, Monday and Tuesdays now. And then they're hoping to bring them back full time as soon as possible. It's going to be great. They really miss that interaction with their peers and everything else, especially my middle child. He is a kid who loves being around people, and this has been really tough on him. So he's excited to be back in school, and I'm excited for them. And I'm excited because this is the first time since November that the house has been pretty much empty, which is good for me and my job, and also good for other things. One of the things I'm going to try and focus on now that they're back in school is my podcast. If you've ever listened to my podcast, I thank you for that. But I'm going to try and start putting out episodes again on a more regular basis. I was planning to do that after they started going back to school the first time, and then everything got turned upside down again. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time, and we can focus a little more on that. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out at anchor.fm/Brian's-vinyl-records and give me a listen on there. I hope you would enjoy that. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Love to hear from everybody in the vinyl community. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Love to have you along for the ride. I've got some cool stuff coming up. I decided, after doing the AC/DC video, a lot of people gave some good comments and compliments on that. I'm going to try and do some more of things like that in the future. I've got a couple ideas going on right now, and I'm kind of fleshing them out. But look for some stuff like that in the near future as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, keep spinning, vinyl friends.